Okay, now we're going to prepare some Norwegian salmon. We're going to do it two ways today. We're going to pan sear one of the portions, and then we're also going to grill. And I want to show you something that's very important with my product, especially like with the fish, more so with the fish, I think. And I'm going to take the salmon out of its containment. It's thawed, and I thawed this very quickly in some room temperature water, but now it's a little on the wet side, right? So I'm going to put it on this little paper towel, and I'm going to absorb the extra moisture. Okay, so we're going to do a couple of things. One, we're going to saute all right, so we're going to take a little bit of this oil, get it nice and hot, and when you're pan searing, really, you're not frying, okay? You're pan searing, you need a little oil, a little fat. That's how much fat, okay? It's basically enough that to coat the bottom of the pan. So it's a very, very, very light on the fat. So I think some people are concerned when they saute, when they use a saute pan. They're concerned that they have to use a lot of fat. You do not have to use a lot of fat, especially in a non-stick surface like this. So now I'm seasoning, and again, I love to use the kosher salt because I have control. Coarse black pepper, you know, you want to use the grinder, that's fine. I just find a good coarse ground black pepper to be fine. And also, I'm waiting for the pan to get nice and hot. Hot pan, very important. Like I always say when I'm pan searing, like you'll notice in my other demonstrations, you should hear a sizzle when you put the item in the pan. Okay, we're almost there. Okay, so now we're going to put the salmon in the pan. Oh, I love that sound. Now, notice I sear the seasoned side down. So now, I season the other side. Again, making sure not to over-season. Again, it's a non-stick surface. We want to use non-stick tools. Or we can just flip it. Okay. Now, I like my salmon a little bit on the medium rare side. This is another one of those things. It's like the pork, okay? Everybody wants to kill the pork. If you're doing a roasted shoulder of pork, please go ahead and cook it well done. Why? Because it's marbled with fat. There's all kinds of fat going through the shoulder of pork. But when you're doing the loin of pork, a pork chop, something like that, it should be medium to medium rare. There's no fat. The loin is lean. And this is the #1 mistake that people do at home. They overcook things. Okay, we got a few minutes. In fact, I'm going to turn this off now, and I'm going to let it finish cooking in the hot pan. Salmon. Now, obviously, I'm not getting into recipes today. But here's a little principle. If you have a favorite recipe, like for a fillet of sole, maybe it's a mixture of mushrooms, tomatoes, garlic, maybe it's whatever it is, the odds are it'll work for salmon too. Now, that's not a universal principle. In other words, I wouldn't put lobster sauce, for instance, on a salmon. Okay, I would put it on a sole, but I wouldn't put it on the salmon. But for the most part, what you do with one piece of fish, you could probably do with the other fish. And we'll get more into that going forward. We'll get into recipes. Right now, what we're concentrating on is just the pan searing of the fish.